It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Time for happy hour with Amy
and Allie. Here we go. So today we're going to talk about one of the documents that you have to turn in, and those are your pay stubs. So when you hear us say pay, woo woo,
happy hour.
Nothing makes me happier than getting money. So that's what we're going to talk about. Why do you need? What are you looking at when you look at pay stubs? What is it that you're actually looking at and trying to calculate?
So when we look at your check,
okay, right.
What we see is how much that you're making on a regular basis. We're also looking at the hours that you put in per week if you get paid hourly. We're looking at any deductions that you may have. Maybe you're paying child support or you have some other garnishment on your check. We're also looking to see if we can maximize your income. Do you have overtime? Do you have a bonus pay? What are the things that we can see when remember, we're telling a story with paperwork. And this is one of the most important pieces. They're all really important, but it's a very important piece of the process.
And if I recall correctly, like there are some people who have like more seasonal jobs as far as like, you know, they might be in landscaping and so they work a lot in the spring, but then not so much in like the winter. So how do you take that into account when you do the pay stubs?
Yeah, so we'll be looking at their pay stub. We'll be looking at their check. We'll also be reaching out to their employer to do a verification. And we have to average their income if they have sporadic income.
And that's where the tax returns come into account, because that shows like over the course of the year how much they usually work, right?
Yeah, it can, especially if they're self-employed, for sure.
Great. Yeah. So here's one of our big objections is, okay, fine, like you didn't pre-approve me for the amount that I want to be pre-approved for. So I'm going to go get a second job. I'll get either a second full-time job or a second part-time job. What is the big, and I hear this all the time, what is the big problem with that?
Yeah, so it's a good thought. But in order to use a second job or a part-time job, you actually have to have a 2-year history of getting paychecks.
So you can't just go out and get another job and be like, okay, fine, like I make more money. Give me a better pre-approval.
Right. As long as you have a history of working 2 jobs over a 2-year period, it's okay to switch from part-time job to a different part-time job. They have to be able to see that you're going to be able to sustain that higher number of hours for a long period of time.
I think a lot of people forget that you're getting loaned a whole lot of money, a lot more money than you're ever going to get loaned in your entire life. And so it's important to make sure that you're a good investment.
Yeah.
The person who's applying is a good investment.
And a lot of times you're borrowing that money with little to no money out of your own pocket. So the risk is on the lender, so they have to do their due diligence.
That sounds good. So next week we're going to talk about a lot of the most common question is how much do you have to make to buy a house? And it's really complicated. So tune in.
I bet it depends on if you get a paycheck. Is the worst.
So tune in next week and we will answer the last of your questions. Hey.
There she goes. She's doing the paper. She's like, I've heard you, but I wasn't really listening. My name's Amy. Paystubs. Ready?
Wait, you gotta start with happy hour.
Oh.